I'm sorry, but I don't see any of these women that are acting that way in their youth feeling proud about it when they get to be our age. And I know being in relationship or getting married young, when I got divorced, I remember, some of the corporate women that I work with saying, oh, you missed out. You need to go out there and do this and that. I know that it's not for me because I'm a relationship girl. And I always say, if you're eventually going to want that, you need to be carrying yourself in a way that exemplifies what you're ultimately going to want. So, women, you have to choose wisely. You're in control of your own body, but just know that if you are going to want relationship, your past matters, your reputation matters, and you could count yourself out because of decisions that you've made. And you may say it's not fair and it's unfortunate, but we want what the man has. We want his name, his ring, his covering. So, I believe men ask and we accept or not. So I would just say it's all part of setting ourselves up for success. And I think it goes along with other discipline like, diet, exercise, spending, running your mouth. It's all in parcel of how we can stay feminine because it's really very masculine behavior to be out there the way it's promoted now. That's what I would say. Lucy, I'm going to put you on the hot seat. What would you say?
That's a really interesting question. It's I think as a woman, it's that um, has never been has never thought that sharing my body with many is anything beneficial. It's really hard to see it now, but it's been a conditioning. You see it in the media, you hear in the songs. It's promoted everywhere, and again, that's part of how society will be destroyed. I think that one of the things that I tell my nieces is that your body is sacred. If you give your body to many, by the time you get it to the special person, you're not going to have anything to give to that person. So it should be your body should be a treasure. It should be something that once you decide on giving it to somebody else, it has to be somebody that you know that it's going to be with you for a long term. Um, Again, thinking about this promiscuity concept is very hard for me because I see the pain that a lot of these young girls are going through, and they're trying to cope with that pain by saying that it doesn't matter, but in the end, it does. And unfortunately, they're going to be our age, and they're going to be looking back, even though inside they're going to be sorry for doing it. They're still going to be saying that it was not a big deal, that now they're 56, 57, alone with a cat or a dog, and no one next to them. So I think, yeah, the promotion of promiscuity is not helping our women. And in our environment, we are going to focus on letting them know that our bodies are treasures. And again, the one person that deserves it is got to be somebody incredibly special to be able to enjoy that part of a relationship.
Okay. So um I like the I like the perception that both of you have on the topic. I've dug into this a whole lot deeper, and I just wanted to see if the question, was solid enough for you, to ask in front of people, because I'm a published author. That's my book behind me, The Code. I got a couple of books that I've written. Um, I've studied human behavior for over 20 some years when I was in the military for targeting purposes and things of that nature. And when you really get down into it, humans are divided by behavior, where we all agree. We like-minded individuals, commingle where they feel the safest at, or they feel respected. I think men chase respect the same way women chase love. So going through that filter, you're going to find a lot of self-gratifying behavior when you look at it, right? So I believe that there's a difference between all men and all women. And that difference is one common behavior that we all share that we're not exempt from, and that's sexual connectivity. Because every living being is either going to have sex for reproduction or recreation, you know. And when you get down into it, it's only certain people that can connect with certain people. Like the people that are in your network and your audience won't be attracted to the people that are in the ratchet audience. Like there will never be an attraction, never be a reason to have a romantic connection. So when you start getting down into who's connected to who, you can't help but look at the way people are raised, because that's how you operate in the world. You take the way that you were raised out into the world, and you try it against, various situations, and you either say, hey, my mom taught me this. Everybody grades their mom's teachings against the teacher at school. You go to school, and the child validates what they were taught at home with the teacher, and they come home and validate what the teacher is teaching them with the parent. So the value of the mother being the first teacher to give us manners, to give us decorum, that can only come from, I believe, a sexually disciplined household, because these cycles keep reproducing themselves. So single mothers, basically replicate themselves without, another male figure around, because you can't produce something that you've never seen or experienced. Like both of you ladies are boy moms, right?
Well, I'm a boy mom, and I'll just say this. Thank you so much. I hear what you're saying, and I know the problem is a lot larger than Lucy and I can solve, but we're trying to make that drop in the bucket. And especially for one, by leading by example, and by saying, unequivocally, people are adults, but we do know, and I do like to say, ladies, you do not have to have a hot girl summer. You can have a wonderful experience with the man that is for you. Again, I'm not saying that you have to be a prude, but I do believe in that pair bonding. And I do think it gets harder when you have a lot of experiences clouding your mind. So I hear you. I'll let you go ahead and we got someone else in the back, but I'll go ahead and let you finish your thought. But I am a boy mom, and then we'll go ahead and take you down. So go ahead and finish up.
Okay, so the point that I was trying to get to is that the the element of objectivity changes when you have the opposite gender to be responsible for, or be covered by the opposite gender. There's some things that you absolutely won't have the same perspective on unless a man can give you a experienced perspective, and generally speaking, sexually disciplined men do not pursue unhealthy women, while unhealthy women pursue unhealthy men. So, like, there's a demographic of men and women that aren't going to be attracted to each other the same way. You start looking at the statistics, and I think generally speaking, 80% of women have their children out of wedlock, with 16% of men, which is a 5-to-1 ratio, which means five sexually undisciplined women are competing for one sexually undisciplined man to make their kids out of wedlock with. So there's a whole slew of men that don't even have kids at all. I think 58% of men are single and childless, or don't have kids. I'm not quite sure, but I know this in the 58th percentile or something like that. So there's a whole demographic of men that can't get the woman that they want. And, they have to change geography in order to make that happen. That's not, which goes back to saying they're out there, then they're probably just not local to where you are, because especially when you start getting down into demographics of race, what your preferences are. And if you are pursuing Black people, we only huddled around 10 or 11 different cities. So you have to expand your horizons. So I think that I think to solve the problem, you have to create separation. And, some people they need to be isolated. That's the way you evaluate it. If you got two children that are arguing with each other, you look at the activity that's creating the argument, You try to create a solution, whether making them share or giving them one of the same, giving them both the same thing. But when you take it away, that there's conflict over the availability, right? So if you take the good people out of, if you take the people that are compatible with each other and group them and draw the line, you'll stop focusing on the people that aren't for you and commingle with the people in your network that reflect your value and what you bring. So I like what you said about the network piece earlier too. So that's
Thank
spot
you.
on. Yep.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and drop you down. I appreciate the comment and the feedback. And ultimately, I mean, like Lucy just said, I'm sorry, Mona just said, women who want differently will make efforts to do so. And I think it goes both ways. I mean, I know Lucy and I are two women, trying to make a difference and make our mark. But I agree, there's a huge society or societal push that's kind of going in the opposite direction. But yeah, I would say for both men and women, you seek out what you want, and then the other people who are not included, they will learn or they won't. And I think that's okay. Thank you so much, Victor. Jaws. I see you in the back, but it says device not connected. So if you want to chat with us, just go ahead and connect your device. You do not have to be camera on if you want to be camera off. Absolutely. All right, let's see if there's any other questions, and then I'll share with you guys what's coming up in the finishing school. I'm just going to go back to where we was. So yes,
And And
yes.
one of the things with the finishing school for the modern woman that we're trying to do is that we're not trying to change the world. We're just trying to start with a baby drop in the bucket to start maybe sharing our message that it doesn't necessarily have to be what we see out here right now. We can change it one student at a time.
I 100% believe that, yes. And Betty says, I know you dealt with a lot, but you're happy with an average man. I consider myself average. 100%. And we don't have to be this fallacy that we're all some, living some celebrity life. That's not who we are. And you can have a lot of happiness. So
They're
I'm
selling you lies, ladies. All of these people in social media saying that they lived a high value woman, man, it's all a facade. Unfortunately, to have that high value environment, the husband probably has to be working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The woman is on, her $1 million castle without the husband to the side. So, and sometimes even those people are just talking, the actual finances are probably in shambles. So do not believe that. We were meant to be with somebody that has equal value morally, but when it comes to the material stuff, that is just stuff. When you go 6 feet under, you don't take all that stuff with you. So I think that, if you've met a good man or a good woman, enjoy that life together, because somehow two imperfect people have found the perfect time to meet. Do the best you can with each other.
100%. I could not agree more. I see Ebony in the chat. I don't know if this is a serious question. She says, is whining an art? I would say whining is a sign of immaturity. I would not classify it as an art. What do you say, Lucy?
I agree.
Okay. All right. So I'm just scrolling back. I know I missed some of these. Let me just see here. Yes, I hear you, Anton, loud and clear. We understand there's a lot. It's an uphill battle. We are doing our part. And that's why, in addition to the finishing school, uh, Lucy and I are going to be doing these Q&As for the community, because a lot of times women, especially younger women, they just have not seen that there are, like Lucy said, because we're quiet. I felt convicted every time I would hear Kevin Samuel say, where are the older women to teach the young? I was just happy minding my business in my cul-de-sac, but we're here and we're trying. Thank you, Tara. She says, Dad says, dress for the job that you want. Absolutely. That's what Kevin used to say. Are you a wife? And he would ask them before they were married. And yes, swag, it goes both ways. We don't know the causes of it, but I think both men and women can make better choices with their bodies. Um, I think the question was just about separation and looking for what you want. Hello, the African wolf. Happy miércoles Wednesday. Yes,
Feliz miércoles.
yes, yes, yes. I remember that statistic about how many men are single and childless in the middle class. We have is that Kid with Faces. My name is Alina, pronounced Alina, and I have a question. I've been in my relationship with my boyfriend for nearly 5 years, and we're 21 now. When should we consider marriage? Wow. Okay. So 5 years from 21, that means you were 17. I guess I'll take a stab at this and then Lucy can answer. You may not like this, sweetheart. Um, it depends on how old he is, if you all are of the same age. And also, as a woman, if you're leading the conversation about marriage, we've already put the cart before the horse. Now, you can definitely say, and I would encourage any of my consults, in general, or when you begin dating someone, I'm dating for the intent of marriage. I see myself as a wife or mother someday. These are my relationship goals. Once you've been 5 years in, if he's not bringing up marriage, if this is being driven by you, um, I think that's going to be more difficult because you have allowed the relationship to go this far, and 5 years in your 5 years in your prime years is a long time. Now, it's not the end of the world. If he's older and he's ready for the responsibility of a wife and family, by all means. But again, I think he should lead because I remember being that young, bullheaded young woman, but you put yourself in a position where you're carrying the burden because you're having to continue what you started. So that's what I would say about it. Lucy, what would you say?
It looks like they're both 21. 5 years together at 21. That's a tough question. Again, have you asked them what is the intention in being in this relationship? Is this a long term relationship? Is this something that he's thinking about marrying at the end? So, I mean, it seems these are two young, very young minds. He's already the breadwinner as well, and we've agreed to having children. He wants to wait until he has a house, but should we get married before or after moving in? We've lived together before. I can tell you on the financial part, you do not want to get a house before you get married. You get the house together, so both names are on the deed. There's also, I don't know if you listen to the lead attorney, I think that there's also discussion for the man, especially about prenuptial agreements on the finances. There's a lot involved when it comes to making the relationship official. So that is a conversation that you, maybe your parents should have together. If your parents are around, talk to them and see and hear what they have to say. A lot, I can tell you that my parents on my first marriage, they had a lot to say against the marriage, and I still went through it. Parents can see a lot before we see it. So I would recommend for you to have a discussion with your parents and see how they feel about that relationship.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, you're both very young. And I would just say, as a boy mom, I've told both of the boys and their teenagers, the late, great Kevin Samuels used to say that men need that 10 years to be heads down and eat, you know what, so that they can make themselves. I would not, I mean, it can be done, but I think a 21-year-old young man still has a lot of growing up to do. So I agree. Get the elders that you respect involved. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, just some more here. Well, parents are encouraging you to work at the pace. Just know that he's going to need some time to be the man that you're going to want to happily submit to. All right.
Yes, otherwise, later on, there might be resentment on your part, and then there's going to be issues as well. So allow him to grow up and learn what the skills that he needs to have as a man to carry a family, because that's a lot to learn.
Absolutely. We've got Gillis here. She says, even in my time, being a virgin was lame if you were a teenager. I think it's a common young in crowd peer pressure situation. I didn't do anything because of a strict mom and I couldn't leave the house. I mean, I think, the expectations of our parents, Lucy and I both come from, nuclear mom, dad, family homes. And it was made very clear to me what the expectations were. It wasn't just this thing, oh well, this just happened. No, we were married and planned for both children. And even though the marriage ended in divorce, unfortunately we're still like family forever. We co-parent. Well, a lot of the teachers don't even know we're divorced because we show up at conferences and everything together. So having one who you give your body to, and then having children, you're going to be connected to this person. So I think both should choose wisely. So I see you all tagging each other. Yes, give yourself time. Mona says, as a woman, it's okay to have the conversation about what you would like. And like Lucy said, to involve family in the vetting process. You are welcome. You're absolutely welcome. All right. So Jazz dropped in the back. If you want to come back, you can connect your device. I'll finish up the rest of the what's new on the slides, and then we will wrap it up. We've got some good stuff coming in the finishing school. And again, yes, I saw the comments. It's a small drop in a very big bucket, but as you age, I think all of us want to leave a legacy of some sort. You want the work that you do, the life that you've lived to matter. And so this is how we are choosing to make our mark. And, again, not trying to beat anybody over the head or say you have to do this, but we feel very passionate about it. So I'll share a little bit more with you all about the finishing school. And then if there's any last questions, you all can put them in the chat or click the link. But we will be here probably every week to answer you all's questions. All right, so you learned a little bit about Lucy and Maggie. We both came from the Kevin Samuel space. So again, ladies from age 15 to 50, we have several guest speakers. We've talked about this, but let's see if I have. Oh, let me see. I want to find that we have a new bonus for you all. I wanted to share. There it is. So, in addition to the curriculum that you all saw, I am very, very pleased to share. We have something coming for our students. Woman of Elegance. You may know Vivian. She is a YouTuber and content creator on Instagram and YouTube combined. She has well over 400,000 followers. And I have been in contact with Woman of Elegance, Vivian. And she gives etiquette advice, lifestyle advice, beauty, jewelry, all of that, proper dining. These are things that we're passionate about. We're going to touch on in our class for women who are interested in that. She is also a published author, like our former guest, and her book is 30 Day, The 30-Day Guide to Elegance. And I am very, very happy to share that we have a very generous donor in our community who is giving all of the finishing school students a free copy of the Woman of Elegance book, 30-Day Guide to Elegance. But wait, there's more. Not only, let me bring this back up, not only are you all going to get the book, but in the spirit of continuing to give back, I asked Vivian if it's okay that I teach the material in her book, not only to our students, but to everyone. And I am so grateful and so excited that not only is she providing that for any ladies who are interested, we are going to be having, I wish I had a drum roll, I don't, the Elegance Boot Camp for the Modern Woman. What is that? I'm so glad that you asked. So, like I shared with you all, our class is 8 weeks. It is. Let me take this down so you all can see. So class has begun September and October. Our students are meeting with us every week for Saturday school. We're talking to them about elegance, etiquette, femininity, being the best version of themselves for whatever their goals are. It could be relationship, it could be job opportunity, it could be a business investment, it could be meeting the in-laws. Um, and that is going to wrap up with our guest speaker, Sarah Badenova. October 24th, she's going to come talk to us about feminine body movement and gestures and language because there's so much that we can communicate without saying a word. But for the month of November, we are going to take Vivian's 30-day guide. And Lucy and I are going to do a 30 for 30, maybe shout out to ESPN, but every day from November 1 through November 30th, we are going to teach for 30 minutes the topic from Vivian's guide with her blessing. And she is going to join us. So she's going to pop in and make an appearance. I am so excited. We definitely want to give back to the community. Some of you all have invested in yourself in the finishing school, but we are committed to giving back to everyone. Lucy, do you want to say anything about the Elegance Boot Camp?
Looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing. And to have Vivian join us, popping in and out, that's going to be such an honor. It's going to be amazing.
Yes, so absolutely. So again, you ladies, stay tuned on my channel and Lucy's channel. I'm going to put the QR code back up there. You can scan the QR code and you can put your name on the wait list, but you will see this after we finish teaching our students. We will teach everyone November 1 through November 30th. So share the word. We'll start sharing more of it. Our students will actually have the book. Actually, for those of you all that are logged in, if you go into your student portal, it's already there for you. So you'll have access to the entire guide, but we'll do the drip format for our students. Let me see if there's any questions or comments. If not, I'll finish up. Kid with Faces, thank you, Maggie and Lucy, for allowing us to ask questions and you learned something today. Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's a drop, but it is our love. Yes, Next Level says, is the link for the finishing school in the chat or how can you find the QR code? I'm going to drop it here and let me share my screen again so you all can see what we have going on here. I think the link is in the description and Mona dropped it as well. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to finish up our presentation and then I will go to the finishing school. So the Elegance Bootcamp will be for everyone. This will be a live stream on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter on my channel and Lucy's channel. You do not have to register for the Elegance Bootcamp. That will be taught to everyone who is interested. So share the word. That will be November 1 through November 30th. All right. So we will see you all at school. Let's go over to the finishing school so you all can see. Let me stop sharing and then we'll go over here. All right. So again, the finishing school for the modern woman. This is our flagship course. It is an 8-week online program. We have already started the September intake. We'll go September through October. However, you all can come and see the curriculum here. If we have any students that are in the chat that want to chime in what their experience has been so far, they can. We have some modules that are available that you all can preview. So if you're interested in seeing, for example, what our body coach is going to teach us. You all can see some of it in there, as well as the sessions that are available if you want to do the bundles. The full course registration has passed, but if you want to join in the later bundles, you absolutely can. You can also add your name to the wait list here, and as soon as we have registration open for the next intake, which will be January, we will um, we will let you all know first if you're on the wait list. So September and October, classes in session. November, free class for everyone. December, we will open up registration. So if you all are interested in asking for maybe a Christmas gift, um, to get access to our new class will start in January. And this will be a rolling enrollment, some paid resources and some complimentary. Lucy, did you want to add anything?
I think you have said it all. I hope that you can join us for the 30-day. The boot camp is going to be fun. The Zoom sessions are amazing. The classroom, the students have said that they enjoy smaller classroom because they feel like we're giving them one-on-one attention, and indeed they do get that, one-on-one attention. They are hopefully enjoying it. Session number 2 is next Saturday, and it's going to be about, God, I think I wrote it down. I'm not really sure what
Self
we're looking at in
confidence
session 2.
and poise.
The confidence, yes.
Mhm.
Yes, that's going to be very interesting. And no, this is going to be, again, like I said earlier, even though we saw a comment about it's a very small drop in the bucket, it's like a drop filled with lots of love, intention, good intentions, and a lot of hope that we can make it better. You're muted.
I almost got through a stream without doing it, but yes, I don't see any other questions. So I wanted to make sure. Next Level had asked about the link, so the link for the finishing school is in the chat. So again, 8 weeks. So we'll have a September October session, a November session for everyone. December, we will open up enrollment for our new class intake to start in January. And it is a wonderful community. And it is, you have access to Lucy and I. We have guest speakers that are going to come and talk about, since we have some new people in here, I'll just go quickly through it and then we will go ahead and dismiss, just so you all can see what comes in it. So if you're interested in registering for a later session, we would absolutely love to teach you. So let me just go back here so you all can see. All right. So if you want to know what's included in the curriculum, we've already told you about the boot camp. Our students are going to get the book. You all can see the schedule that we have here. This is Vivian's book, Ultimate Elegance Guide. So again, mark your calendars, November 1 through November 30th. It's going to be a 30 days of 30 minutes of teaching, and each day is going to be a section from her Ultimate Elegance Guide taught by us, Maggie and Lucy. But Vivian is very excited and again gave us her blessing. She will be making an appearance in the boot camp, so stay tuned for that. Again, it will be a free live stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. You all can share the content if you would like to, by all means. It will just be a straight teaching. We won't have guests and we won't have comments because we want to deliver the material. But this could be a foray into, you know, a little bit more refinement as the holidays are approaching. You can work on becoming more elegant if that's something that you want to do. And then after the holidays, you can join us for the second intake that starts in January. So for the second intake of our class, the dates are going to be January 9th through February 24th. So this will be our second 8-week intake. So if you're interested in being taught by Lucy and I, we're currently in the first session, but this will be our second session. It is Saturday school, and it's usually 12 p.m. Eastern. It is taught live, but it is a private Zoom. And then our students have access to all the materials for life and the recording. So you can see here we have 8+ private Zoom sessions because, in addition to Lucy and I teaching, we have guest speakers who are going to be coming and talking about their area of expertise. You all know we've talked a lot about why, if you're a woman who wants to refine, you can fill in the blank, but our focus is going to be promoting femininity. If you want to shut off some of those masculine tendencies, if you've been given feedback that you're more masculine than you want to be, that's what we're working on. If you want to move more elegantly, if you want to be more graceful, if you want to carry yourself like a woman and not a I'm going to zoom in on myself here. My students are going to see this, not a female. We talked about that. Not a female. If you want to be a lady, we definitely want to promote that. I think my students know what that is about. Let's see what else we have in here for you all. If you want to work on having better etiquette, we talked about that in class, knowing what's appropriate and what's not. We're going to be talking about that in this session and the January section. So again, how do you register? Put your name on the wait list, and in December, we will open up registration for our January session. So you might be able to ask for it as a Christmas gift. Our guest speaker in January will be Lauren, who is a consult of mine. She's an attorney, has been working on balancing her femininity in a masculine environment. You all will see her. I'm actually collabing with her in the kitchen tomorrow. She's coming by. We'll be making banana pudding. Sarah is going to talk to us about our gestures, body movement, body language is so important. Ria, my personal stylist, I worked with her at the Coca-Cola company. She's a former Nike executive. She's going to talk to us about style and your capsule wardrobe. Caitlin, my photographer, is going to be talking to us about showing up well in pictures, the importance of your headshot, and how you can look your most photogenic. Oh, and I'm clicking on, there we go. Christine, are you hospitable? Can you welcome people into your home? Do you know how to host a dinner party? Do you know how to serve? These are all things that my network is going to talk to us about. So anyway, we've shared this. You all, these will be available to all of our students. So as the dates are scheduled, if you are a student, you will have access included in your tuition. And you all know her and love her. AV has a knack for home decor, and she's going to talk to us about making sure you set up a warm and welcoming space. So hopefully you all can see the caliber of speakers and what we're trying to promote. We're going to be talking about femininity, confidence, poise, dining, social etiquette, business, international, and communication. So just wanted to share that with you all. Let me come out. That will be as part of the January session as well. So let us see here. Let me take that down. Lucy, did I miss anything, or are we ready to dismiss?
Before we dismiss everyone, I want to thank our moderators. They're working very hard at showing us the links and everything else. Thank you so much for your hard work moderating. I understand what it takes to do that, and you've been doing an amazing job moderating our chat.
Yes, thank you all so much. Thank you all for the support. And like Khalees says, this is available for if you know any ladies, our youngest age. We even have a teenager in our current intake. So we would say as young as 15, and the learning never stops. So thank you all so much for being in here. I'm so glad you guys are looking forward to November. Lucy and I will be here to do these Q&As with you weekly, probably every Wednesday. So if there's something that comes up and you have a question and you want to get a perspective from some older women, we would love to help you and do our part. So, with
And
that
it's
being
always, sorry, it's
no,
always the feminine perspective. We can't speak on the masculine side. It's always on the feminine side, just in case.
absolutely. Yes. And so, we talked about that a little bit in class. It is something that you can cultivate and it is something that you can work on. So if you feel like you're harder, louder, harsher, more aggressive, more masculine than you want to be, it's definitely something that you can refine. And that is our life's work and what we will continue to promote. So, yes, yes, yes. The coaching and putting it into practice is the most important, and I think the benefit of being our students. So, with that being said, we try to keep these, 90 minutes, 2 hours at the most. We're going to go ahead and dismiss everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Code Talk, for the support and for clicking the link. Thank you, the Uncle Junior Network, for the $20 super
Yes.
chat. Very, very generous. And thank you all for spreading the word and for supporting our community. Until next time, we'll go ahead and see you all then. Good night. Goodbye.
Buenas noches.
Buenas
Adios.
noches. Adios.